Hello friends, welcome to WarWiki. Meticulous Monday is a series where we bring you a latest current affair event which may have long-lasting and significant effect in future. In this week's edition we bring you a stark reality. We showcase not one but a series of events which have happened in quick succession, in a span of just few weeks. They clearly indicate that a massive arms race is on in South Asia and China, and it can very well intensify in near future. China and India have been driving growth for the rest of the world for several decades, and with recession looming over majority of the world economies, they become significant to the rest of the world. China, India, and Pakistan have always been rivals, but in recent few weeks this rivalry has taken a sharp turn towards what can only be called an arms race. What's worse is countries like Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, and many more are gradually getting involved as well. Let's start by discussing what are the recent developments in last 1 week for each of these countries. China is the strongest economy as well as the strongest military power of this region. Early December this year China has inducted its first fifth-generation fighter, Chengdu J-20 in its Air Force. On December 24, just 4 years after its inception on paper, China has been able to conduct first flight trials of its second fifth-generation aircraft, the Shangyen Fc 31. Or simply J-31, most critics consider redesigned J-31 as a pretty capable machine and a close competitor of America's F-35 Lightning. If this redesign proves fruitful, it's all but guaranteed China will move to export the FC-31 to anyone with the cash to buy it. Many countries either can't afford, or are not allowed to buy, the Lockheed Martin F-35 from the US. Pakistan could be one of the first candidates to join FC-31 program early. How stealthy and advanced this fighter is relatively unknown, but even an 70% solution alternative to the F-35, that costs 40% of its cost, will be extremely enticing to majority of the countries. All this clearly shows how badly China wants to take a larger share of fighter export market, and unlike USA it's unlikely that they will resist the sale to unworthy buyers. On 24th China delivered first two submarines, BNS Nabhajatra and BNS Joyjatra to Bangladesh. These are two of the 4035G type subs that China will be exporting to Bangladesh. In addition, China is also stated to deliver 8 S-20 types of submarines to Pakistan. Apart from such big deals, China has been exporting modernization equipment to modernize Sri Lankan, Myanmar, and Nepal armies. China is not only developing and exporting arms rapidly but also importing quality military equipment from Russia. Prominent among these acquisitions are S-400 anti-aircraft weapon system, and Sukhoi 35 4+ generation advanced aircrafts. India is one of the biggest military importer in the world. Few months ago India sealed a big deal of 36 Dassault Rafale with France. It's on verge of closing another big ticket deal with either American F-16 or Swedish Saab. Multiple other big deals like Israeli Markava Mk4, Russian stealth frigates and S-400 Triumph are on cards. Just within a week's time India has conducted two big missile tests. Both these tests were very critical in life cycle of the missiles. On December 22, India tested its indigenous nuclear-capable subsonic cruise missile, nirbhaya. And today on December 26 it tested its China-centric nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missile Agni 5. Nirbhaya test trial was a failure, however the Agni 5 launch was a success. Agni 5 is capable to travel up to 5,500 kilometers and capable of striking deep in Chinese territory as well. Nirbhaya test was a complete failure. In 4 tests only 1 test has had partial success. India is now considering canning the missile development and instead import Russian Kalibr missile. Kalibr missile proved their mettle in recent Syria war and was extremely effective and precise. Kalibr range is of around 1,500 to 2,200 kilometers, significantly more than Indian Nirbhaya and recently tested Pakistan Babur cruise missiles. The only reason India had gone ahead with Nirbhaya development 15 years ago was because MTCR regulation prevented Russia from transferring technology of long-range subsonic cruise missiles. With this limitation gone, India and Russia are already developing BrahMos 2, a hypersonic cruise missile with a range of 600 kilometers. On December 24 India also successfully test-fired its smart anti-airfield weapon. India is trying to accelerate development of its two fifth-generation aircrafts, PACFA with Russia and indigenous AMCA. In addition to major import and self-development, India is close to exporting BrahMos to Russian Air Force and Vietnam as well. India also recently gifted 4 Mi-25 attack helicopters to Afghanistan and is likely to increase this military aid. Just like China, India too has loyal friends in the region, and India has been exporting military arms and equipment to countries like Bhutan, Nepal, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan, etc. Last 1 week has been very eventful for Pakistan as well. Pakistan successfully test-fired its indigenous medium-range subsonic cruise missile, Babur. The range of Babur is less than 1,500 kilometers with a payload capacity of up to 300 kilograms. Pakistan on December 21 also undertook live missile firing in the Arabian Sea. It successfully test-fired surface-to-surface anti-ship missiles from a Sword-class frigate PNS Aslat. Pakistan is relatively a smaller economy but has always been ambitious when it comes to defense equipments. Pakistan also boosted its export by exporting mushak trainers to Turkey and Nigeria recently. With all three countries focusing massively on weapon and weapon delivery systems development, importing latest and expensive defense equipment, as well as exporting new technologies and making strategic friends, this region is engaged deeply in an arms race. With countries like Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Vietnam etc. drastically increasing their military spendings, this arm race can get much worse. It is a battle for regional supremacy and only time will tell how it will end.